Hey guys, John Kaminsky back for Musical Excursions, episode 40. The last few times, if you've been watching, I was going over keys that might not be as familiar to you if you're a rock player than if you might be a jazz player and might want to get into getting used to knowing your way around for anything. So this time what I want to do is explain why we were doing what we were doing. Now, last time we were doing an arpeggio off of each scale degree of a few different keys. We picked F and B flat and E flat, and I left it up to you to learn your way around on the other keys. So what I want you to do this time is let's start in G this time. Nice, comfortable place to be, I guess, on the guitar. Hopefully easier to see in the camera. And we'll start in the key G major here. But what I want you to do is, we're not going to look at it like G major. We're going to look at it like from G for everything, for every mode. Okay, so as before, if it would have been doing what we did before, we would be going G major, A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, and so on, and going through all those modes. You know, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, and so on. What I want you to do is keep all those patterns in mind and play them all from this position in G. Okay, so they're like moods of their own. They're actually their own scales. Rather than just learning all these different modes and you can play them all because it's just the same notes anyway and you're still in the key of G. This will help, hopefully, explain to you why we did that and how they can be useful. So if we stay in the key of G and we play a major 7, play your Ionian. Hopefully you've learned your way a little around. Okay, now the next one up was Dorian, correct? So minor 7 chord. There's your Dorian. Works, right? Next one after that is another minor 7, but this time it's Phrygian. Still works, right? It depends what's going on around it. See if the chord I was coming from before that was an A flat major going to that G minor or G minor 7. See, listen to that. Sounds right now, doesn't it? Okay, now the next one after that would be Lydian, so we're back to a major 7 chord. Does that sound strange to you? It works. It has the 1, 2, 3 raised fourth in it. 5, 6, 7. The only difference is that raised fourth compared to the Ionian or major. The reason that works is it really does depend on its use. If I put that sharp 4 or sharp 11 in that major 7 chord, you can really hear it. There's no reason why that's not just as valid. It depends on the circumstances. Okay, now the next one is Mixolydian, which works over a 7th chord, dominant 7th chord. I apologize if I did a couple extra notes in there, but the only difference is what? One note again. Compared to the Ionian, it's just the flat 7 instead of the natural 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flat 7 instead of the Major 7. Okay, now that dominant 7th chord used a lot in blues. It's also used as a 5 chord coming back home to 1 in tunes. So that's very useful, that one there. And variations off of it. We'll get to later. If we stick with some of the stuff, then we'll get to that. But anyhow, so then the next one would be a minor 7 again for the Aeolian mode. I'm sure that sounds normal to you anyway. If your 4 chord is a minor. You see then that flat 6, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6 of the Aeolian mode for G is also the minor 3rd to your 4 chord's minor chord. So, in other words, if that 4 chord happened to be a major, or just a 7th chord even, C7, then you'd have to play a Dorian. Because that would make the 6th a natural for G. Okay? So, Aeolian. There you go. And then after that we have Locrian. That works over a minor 7 flat 5. Or half diminished, same thing. Sounds right, doesn't it? And then that's all of them, because we're back to the Ionian again. Okay, so those are 7 modes, the same ones we did before, only we kept them all in G. Okay, now write to me, make some comments, questions. If this makes no sense to you, or if there's a couple things that do, some that don't, let me know what you think. And if you're getting anything out of this, I really appreciate you watching, and subscribe, please. Thanks for watching again, and we will see you next time.